Ever feel like you're stuck in an echo chamber of online business advice? You know, same old tips and tricks.
Same old gurus saying the same old thing.
Exactly. Well, today we are shaking things up. We're going global.
Going global.
Yes. We're taking a deep dive into Taiwanese online business.
All right, I'm intrigued. How are we doing that?
Through a blog.
A blog.
Yeah. It's called Get This Expert Business Research Room.
Okay, catchy. Tell me more.
Run by this Taiwanese business consultant, Go.
So even if, like me, you can't read Chinese.
Which I definitely can't.
Me neither. But we can still get a feel for how this expert in Taiwan is, well, approaching the whole online business game just from the blog itself.
It's like a little sneak peek right into a different business culture.
Absolutely.
So let's jump in. What kind of stuff is this expert, this Taiwanese expert, emphasizing? What are his priorities, would you say?
Well, the first thing that jumped out at me was the title itself. Expert Business Research Room, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about, throwing some products up online and hoping for the best.
Crossing your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. This expert is all about research, analysis, strategic approach, and honestly, you can really see that in how the blog's structured.
Yeah, it's incredibly organized. You can tell he's put a lot of thought into how he's presenting everything. Like, there are entire categories dedicated to, for example, that's personal branding.
Yes.
Which is sales funnel, business thinking.
And that focus on personal branding, that's particularly interesting to me. I mean, in the West, personal branding, yeah, it's important, but it seems even more crucial in the Taiwanese market, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Why do you think that is?
Well, my theory, and this is just a theory, is that it's tied into the importance of relationships, of face, in Chinese culture, right?
That makes sense.
Establishing trust, credibility, that's paramount, right? And a strong personal brand can really make or break you in that kind of environment.
It's not just about, a catchy tagline or having a zillion followers.
Right.
It's about cultivating this reputation.
Yeah.
Expertise. Authenticity.
Precisely. And it's not all theoretical with this guy. He walks the walk, He's got this whole section, these detailed notes from workshops he's attended.
Wow, that's pretty generous, sharing that kind of insider information.
Yeah, it speaks to a more collaborative approach to learning, I think. Maybe that's more prevalent in the Taiwanese business world? Not sure. But he's definitely not hoarding all that knowledge. He shares practical advice, things he's picked up from real-world experience.
So show me, don't just tell me kind of thing.
Exactly. And he really dives into those experiences through these blog posts, articles, reflections on those workshops we mentioned.
So it's not just, hey, trust me, I'm an expert. It's, here's how I'm constantly learning and refining my own strategies. It's that expert business research in action.
Exactly. And one of the key areas he researches is the Luyo, the sales funnel.
The sales funnel. Now, that is a classic online business concept, but it's really interesting to see how much emphasis it gets here.
So the sales funnel, right? Think of it like a path, a path that your potential customer takes.
Okay, I like that. A path.
Yeah. So it starts with awareness, getting people interested in what you're selling, your product, your service, whatever it is.
Right. So they got to know you exist first.
Exactly. Then you got to nurture that interest. You're guiding them, right, through different stages, different steps, until, boom, they make a purchase.
So it's not just about throwing up a website and going, here I am, buy my thing.
Nope, not at all. It's got to be more, I'd say, strategic.
Strategic. I like it.
And this blog really hammers that home. It lays out these different stages of the sales funnel, talks about how to optimize each one. Really interesting stuff.
You know what I think is so cool about this? It's seeing these concepts, which, let's be honest, are pretty standard online business stuff,
Yeah.
But seeing how they're presented, emphasized, within this very specific cultural context, it's fascinating.
I'm with you. It does make you wonder, though, what's uniquely Taiwanese about their approach to the sales funnel?
Well, I think it's really interesting how much this blog stresses, building trust, relationships, which we've talked about how important that is in the Taiwanese market.
Right, right. It's not just about getting that quick sale. It's
more than that.
It's about the long game.
Right.
Establishing a real connection with your audience, building that relationship over time. And again, that totally tracks with that whole emphasis on face, on relationships that you see in Taiwanese culture.
Makes sense. So, okay, let's bring it back to our listeners for a sec. What can we take away from all of this? How is this relevant to them, even if they're, not selling to Taiwan specifically?
I'd say the big takeaway here is that increasingly online business, It's a global game.
It is.
And there are valuable insights to be gleaned from different cultures, from different markets.
So even if we're looking at a blog from Taiwan, we can still extract these, like, universal truths about online business.
100%. This focus on building trust, on those long-term relationships, guiding people strategically through the sales funnel, those are universal principles. Doesn't matter where you are.
It's about applying those principles in a way that resonates with your particular audience, right?
Exactly. And hey, don't forget, this blog also talks a lot about Pucci online courses.
Oh, right.
Huge trend globally, we know that.
For sure.
But it makes you wonder, the way they structure those courses, the type of content, maybe that's different in the Taiwanese market.
It's like getting this little peek behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is how online courses are done in a different part of the world. How cool is that? It makes you wonder, are there, like, cultural nuances baked into those online courses?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, maybe they're more focused on group learning or community building, since we've been talking about how important those values are in Taiwan.
This is a really interesting thought, actually. I haven't seen anything specifically about that in this blog, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something to consider, even if you're not designing courses for Taiwan, right? Like, how can you make those online learning experiences really resonate, with whatever cultural values your target audience has?
It's all about really understanding your audience.
Exactly, wherever they are in the world. And honestly, that brings us back to the core of this whole blog, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Expert business research.
It does, yeah.
This expert, he's not just hopping on trends, you know what I mean? He's analyzing them, understanding how they fit into a specific context, and then sharing what he's learned.
Right, he's doing the work.
Yes.
And it's almost like he's saying, don't just copy what everyone else is doing. Do your own research. Figure out what works for your business, your audience, your market.
Such a powerful message for anyone in online business, really. There's no one-size-fits-all, right?
Really not.
It's about understanding those nuances wherever you are and adapting your strategy accordingly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Nice.
So as we wrap up here, what's the biggest takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
That's a good question. I think, honestly, it's the importance of perspective.
Perspective, okay.
By looking at online business, through the eyes of this Taiwanese expert, we've learned things, gained insights that we might have totally missed otherwise. Don't you think?
100%.
Yeah.
It's like, when you travel to a new place, you experience a totally different way of life. It just opens your mind, right, to all these new possibilities.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe this deep dive will inspire someone to explore other international business perspectives.
Oh, yeah.
What can we learn from, I don't know, experts in South America, Scandinavia, Africa? I'm just throwing things out there.
The possibilities are endless. And on that note, to our listener, if this deep dive has piqued your interest, keep exploring. Dive into those blogs, research those markets, who knows? You might just uncover some real gold for your own online business journey.